Ice with you. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Daily Sovereignty Report for Tuesday, June 30th, 2026. Can you believe the month is over and half the year is over? Where's time flying, y'all? I have no idea where it's going. My name is Aaron Thomas. My traditional name is Howheaton, and we are breaking down the big stories affecting tribal nations today. No complicated words, no fluff, straight to the point. Let's get into it. First, a major victory for voting rights at the Supreme Court. The court ruled 6-3 that mail-in ballots must be counted as long as they are postmarked by Election Day. Even if they arrive later, the Native American Rights Fund helped win this case. They showed that remote reservations often have slow post office services, which makes mail take a lot longer. Now, why does this matter? It stops Native voters from losing their voice just because they live in rural areas. To have real power, tribal citizens have to be able to vote. This victory helps tribes elect leaders who will respect their sovereign rights. Next up, a major water deal in Arizona has stalled. 4 states, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming, are blocking a $5 billion water agreement for the Navajo, Hopi, and San Juan Southern Paiute tribes. The state does not want the tribes to have the right to lease out their own water to make money. Now, why does this matter? The tribes desperately need that $5 billion to build pipes for communities that do not even have running water today. Real sovereignty means owning your resources, and when outside states block tribes from selling their own water, they are stealing away their economic independence. Now, looking at our friends north of the border in Canada, where the government wants to rewrite the rules for big projects like mines and oil pipelines. Canada wants to speed up approvals by shortening the time it takes to talk with Indigenous communities, but First Nations are deeply concerned. Why does this matter? Rushing these projects can put pollution and hazards right next to Native homes without proper safety checks. International law says Native nations have to give free, prior, and informed consent before major work happens. Rushing the process treats tribes like regular neighbors instead of nation partners. Finally, our Sovereignty Development Watch. The Southern Ute Indian tribe just signed a historic energy agreement with the U.S. government. It is the first of its kind. Now, why does this matter? In the past, tribes had to wait for the U.S. government to approve every single power line or energy lease on their land, which took years. This new deal cuts the codes entirely. The Southern Ute tribe now has the autonomy to make and approve ownership projects on their own terms. Now, again, once again, if you are doing a project and your project team is looking to do the same, the Department of Energy's $50 million tribal energy grant is open right now. The portal closes July 24th. The capital joins up disaster repair funds and helps tribes build solar microgrids so they do not have to depend on outside power companies that may overcharge for electricity. And again, it varies by state, and usually the Public Utilities Commission of each state sets the rates. Now, the bottom line, sovereignty means real management, not just asking for permission. Whether it is voting access or clean water lines or energy autonomy, ownership is the only path forward. If your teams are drafting these proposals today, make sure your SAM.gov accounts and unique entity IDs are up to date. Reviews take time, and these July deadlines are closing fast. All right, that's it for today's Daily Sovereignty Report for June 30th, 2026. Stand firm, protect the land, and we'll see you next time.